Thank you very much for joining us today, Ian.
Thank you, Hal. Pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you on. Can you start by telling us about yourself, for those not familiar with your work?
Right. So I am the Chief Executive for iDE UK. I've joined 6 months ago, coming from the world of advertising and marketing. And iDE is an international NGO based in Denver in the States. Has been in operation for 35 years, 18 years presence here in the UK. We run programs in 11 countries in Asia, Africa, and Central America. And our mission is helping the rural poor, encouraging them to think and act as entrepreneurs.
What does it stand for?
International Development Enterprises.
And where are you from, Ian?
I am English, but I spent a long time in Australia and time in America, so I have a bit of a twang.
I was detecting an Australian accent, I must be honest. But are you based then in Denver sometimes?
Occasionally in Denver,
nice.
but
the Rockies.
Mostly here. Exactly, it's a lovely part of America.
Colorado, all right.
Yeah.
So the importance we need to talk about today of public support for charities. Now, we are a charity here at SSVC. Is it waving?
It is enormously important. I don't know that it's wavering, but it's important to continue to keep a long and constant and very authentic dialogue with the general public. Frankly, our programs wouldn't be possible without their support, and a lot of good work helping a lot of people just wouldn't take place.
But there have been some negative news stories, I won't go into them, you know what I'm talking about, around charity, so therefore you can understand people might be more concerned about where and to whom their money's going.
That is correct, and the issues there are definitely those of trust and transparency.
But how do charities create more trust?
Well, they need to take a more business-like approach, and that helps donors to understand more about how their gifts are used, and in a sense, that's completing that circle of rebuilding trust.
So your ethos is very much the teach a man to fish approach rather than give him a fish, so you're encouraging the rural poor to buy tools instead of just giving them money.
That's right.
Yeah, and why do you do it like that?
There is a sense of ownership other than the obvious. So, for instance, take the case of a farmer working in an area of some drought. Mm-hmm. We would encourage them to buy a low-cost solar-powered water pump that we have helped to design, and which is also we've encouraged local manufacturers to produce. So at one end of the market, we're creating the job and the opportunity, and at the other end, we're actually creating the market. They are very low cost. They're very efficient. I saw them for myself when I was on a recent trip to Nepal.
Yeah.
And what happens then? Though through our input, through training and technology, we assist those farmers to use those pumps effectively. Of course, the land becomes more arable, they take more to market, they learn the benefits of multi-cropping during the growing season. So it's a very nice positive circle. And every bit as importantly, they recognise that by owning that tool, that piece of equipment themselves, they take care of it, they're proud of it, it becomes almost an aspirational purchase.
No, I love that. I've been involved in a charity fundraising for Build on Books, which go to Sierra Leone.
Yes.
And they don't just give them books, they help them build bores, these water areas for those particularly that have no fresh clean water, and they don't just build them, they teach someone in one village who goes to another village and teaches that village how to build one.
Exactly.
It's a great way of doing things, and these kind of things, you can actually see changes in the world, can't you, that way?
Absolutely. It's very inspiring.
Now, what would you like to see, speaking of change, in the world of charity in the next couple of years?
I want to see an increase in charitable work that focuses on economic empowerment, that brings that quiet smile of confidence to the people whose lives have been transformed. I saw for myself those quiet smiles in Nepal and Bangladesh, and there's something really quite humbling about it. So that's what I'd like to see. People want measurable results that can bring a return of trust between donors and charities. There's no question of that.
Yeah, absolutely. If people want more information about what you've shared today, Ian, where would you point them, please?
I'd love them to go to ideglobal.org. There's a host of case studies, lots of information and material, and if they so choose, there's an opportunity to give to us as well.
Ian, finally, what would you say to all those that are out there raising money for our fabulous military, our armed forces community? They're listening now in 30 nations over the world to what you're saying.
Keep up the great work. Keep on being vigilant. Keep on being authentic. Make sure the messaging is clear, transparent, and original. And I wish you every success.
Ian Hunter, UK Chief Executive of iDE Global. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks so much. Really enjoyed it.